Thanks for joining us this week as I share some time-saving tips and tricks I've recently discovered on RV Trip Wizard. So now, I just go up into the map settings and change from the street map to the satellite view. Then, come along as we kick back at an amazing harvest toast for a few days, and it is really cool out here. You've got this pond out here with these ginormous catfish, and have a slight scare with an out-of-control bonfire.
Okay, so not sure how this is going to turn out, but that's the fire department.
Finally, I tackle a clogged-up kitchen sink again. I may have already done this once with the shower, but I watched Jeremy do this one. And perform some outside maintenance. With supervision, of course.
All right, guys, I got to be honest here. I rather enjoy watching her get down on the ground and do some maintenance on the rig instead of me.
We're here at Harvest Host, and I think it's called Bliss Hill Farm. They're a timber farm, so they don't sell anything, but they do have some full hookup sites, and it is really cool out here. You've got this pond out here with these ginormous catfish. You're not allowed to fish for them, but you are allowed to feed them, and there's a bag of food over there, and they go crazy. There's a hammock.
Can you do it without falling off?
Well, see, there's a method, but I don't know what that is. Oh,
That was easy enough.
I guess I do know what it is. An obstacle, tree house. There's a fire pit with lots of seating. You might be able to take these kayaks in this boat out. There's another cool swing. It looks like they've got a newer cabin over there that they rent out. They've got this 1870s cabin here. This place is super peaceful. All we can hear out here are cows. There must be cows. I hear them over there. So there must be a neighboring farm.
Hey, want to take a shower?
This would be really cool. And is this not the coolest shower head you've ever seen? I wonder what the pressure's like coming out of there.
Take a bath. Come here, let's go take a bath. Come on, let's go take a bath. Come on. Bath time. All right, come on, let's go. Well, we don't do fires often, actual fires. We have a propane fire pit, but somebody doesn't like to sit around it very often. So
cold and it's smoky.
What?
And
The
I can't
propane
remember.
one?
Well, the propane one isn't smoky, I guess.
No,
But it's cold.
It does kind of stink a little bit, but we're gonna have a real fire tonight. I've been carrying around a bundle of firewood for since Hershey, so however long that's been, 6 weeks, 5, 6 weeks. But we got to gather some kindling first. I don't know where we're gonna find any kindling though, and Wicket's gonna help us. Right, buddy? You gonna help us? Come on, let's go find some kindling.
Let's find sticks.
Come on, get your sticks.
I turn you into a frog.
Hey, get the wood out of my truck. Man, you're doing a good job. Okay, so not sure how this is going to turn out, but that's the fire department. We're at this harvest host tonight, and our hosts are having a fire over there. And let's see if we can zoom in on it. Oh, there we go. They caught a tree on fire.
Oops.
About 30 feet up. So they called the fire department out. We were hoping they were coming in, sirens blazing, but didn't happen. You can see right up there, that's where the tree's on fire. Yep, anyway, I'm going to bed. All right, what are you all geared up to do over there?
Well, the sink is clogged again. So it's draining really, really slowly. So we took the trap out of the kitchen sink and cleaned it out at the end of May. So we're looking at what? June, July, August, September, almost the end of October. So 5 months.
I guess it's about right.
Seems to be par for the course with us.
So first of all, if you want to see what that looks like, we're talking about the waterless traps underneath the sink. Ours tend to get clogged up about every 5 to 6 months, and we got to clean them out. If you want to see in detail what that looks like, we'll link a video down below for the one that was in the kitchen, or the one that's in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. That way you can see what it looks like. We're just going to kind of breeze through this, but yeah, it's clogged up again. And I will have you know that you're interrupting my leftover pork chops and rice pilaf over here, so let's make this snappy.
And hopefully not stinky.
And well, it's going to be stinky for sure.
All right, let's see.
Look at this, like a pro.
I may have already done this once with the shower, but I watched Jeremy do this one.
There you go. Ew. Oh, nasty.
All right, there would be our issue. Ugh.
Oh. If you guys have these waterless traps and you have the same problem, let us know, because that seems like a lot to me. And we don't put a lot of like grease and just gross stuff. We try not to down the sink, but this is a lot. Here, show that again, in there. So
that's pretty nasty.
That's pretty gross. So we're gonna clean this out. Again, you saw her take it apart. All we're really gonna do, or all she's gonna do, is really just go outside and clean that thing out. Maybe scrub it with a toothbrush on the inside to get some of that stuff out of there. But again, if you want to see the whole nasty, disgusting process of this, we'll link that previous video down below. But for now, I'm getting back to my pork chops, and she's gonna suffer through.
Hopefully that did not ruin your appetite.
Oh no, it's pork chops and rice. No, I'm good.
All right, so we didn't get it on camera with the sink not draining, but essentially it was just like you could barely see the water moving. And now, no issues. No backup, no issues. I am the master. I had a good teacher though. So I recently found some really cool features within the RV Life Trip Wizard app, and I wanted to share them with you. I'm not sure how long they've been in the app, but I just recently discovered them, so I'm bringing them to you. So the first thing is the satellite view on the map. So I previously had it set up, if you go into the map settings and then go into map style, I previously just had it set up with the typical street map. And so what I would have to do here is I would compare my route within RV Trip Wizard. So say I'm going to go from Chandler Hill up here to the gourd barn. And so I would look at it and say, all right, so it looks like I'm going to be on whatever road this is. Okay, it's going to be on 75. Then I'd have to come over here to Google Maps and I'd put it in. And of course, Google Maps doesn't take you the same route that your RV GPS does. And so I'd have to look turn by turn, you know, and match it up and try to find the street. And it was just a huge hassle. So now I just go up into the map settings and change from the street map to the satellite view. Boom, eye-opening. So now I can go and let's see. So Chandler Hill, here we are. So I'm going to leave Chandler Hill and I'm going to come out of here. And be like, okay, so I want to zoom in and see how friendly this turn is. And it looks like it's fairly decent. So then I come out and I'll do, let's see, let's go all the way to my destination. What does it look like once we get there? That looks fairly decent. So let me see if I can do a street view. That's another thing that I just discovered. So if you kind of hover over your line here, it's like a bluish purple, then you click Google Street View. And if there's a street view, which normally there is, unless you're kind of out in the boonies where there's just not a lot of traffic. So then here we are, we're at the street view. So I'm going to come forward just a little bit because here's the property. And I can see, oh yeah, that's a nice easy turn. We should be able to get in there just fine. There's really nothing here on this side that we're gonna have to worry about as far as like tail swing and stuff. And then even coming out, I can see that we should have an easy time when we leave this destination. So those are the two things in the map settings that I really like. It's drastically reduced the amount of time that I spend. I typically look at our route the day before we get there, and then also when I'm making the reservations, just to make sure that the turns going in and getting to our destination are gonna be big rig friendly. So now I can do it all within the app instead of having to bounce back and forth between the Trip Wizard and Google Maps. So the next set of tools that I want to show you are in the Trip Tools tab inside your trip. So you click on the little wrench here, and we're going to go into Print Trip Details. So in here you can do the trip stops and info only, the map only, or you can do both. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on both and then open print page. And you can also choose whether to do portrait or landscape, so depending on your preference. So here we see I've got my overall trip, and then I've got each location, each stop mapped out for me. So, okay, we're gonna leave Lafayette, and here are all the coordinates. And then our first stop was the Grand Design Michigan Rally up in Coldwater. So it says we're gonna arrive on the 14th, we're leaving on the 20th, we're staying 6 nights. I've got the cost. I always put that in after I've paid for it or once I know the total cost of the camping fees. And it shows me that we were gonna drive 192.99 miles and it's gonna take roughly 3.5 hours. So this is all handy, not so much for me because I'm in the app a lot, but for Jeremy, I can easily send this to him. I can print it out. We can put it in the rig. We can keep it in the truck. So that's kind of a cool feature. The next thing is exporting your trip. And I thought this was pretty cool because Jeremy's been asking me for something that I can send to him in a nice, easy format that he can just reference, you know, where are we going to be on any given day? How long are we going to be there? What's the mileage between point A and point B? And especially this summer when we were doing a lot of boondocking, which locations had which amenities. So some of them we had full hookups, some of them we only had electric and water, some only electric, and some nothing. So he kind of likes to know in advance what we're looking at for tank management and resource management. So you can do a calendar export, an Excel export, and a GPS export. I haven't played around with the GPS export because we're no longer using our Garmin. So if you have used that, go ahead and pop a comment down in the comment section showing us, you know, is it easy to do? Is it kind of difficult? You know, how do the two jive with each other? So the calendar export, and I actually did this yesterday, you can download a file to your computer, and then when you open up your calendar app, so let's get that opened. We happen to use Gmail, so our calendars are in there. So you go up into settings, click on the settings tab, and then come over and you should see, for mine it says import export, so wherever your calendar feature has that. Select a file from your computer. I'm going to go into recents. I'm going to import that in. It says 13 events have been added. All right, now we'll go back into our calendar. And here we go. It pulled everything over. So here we are staying at the Grand Design Michigan rally. We are Holland State Park, and it throws all of that information in for you. And then you can click on it. It gives you the address, the phone number, and any sort of comments that you may have put in there. So that was really cool, because typically what I do is once I make the reservation, then I add it into my calendar, so it's just one extra step that you may or may not have to do. All right, so the next one is the Excel export. So if you click on Excel export, it's going to download a file to your computer, and you can go ahead and open that up, and this is kind of what it looks like here. So it shows you all of your stops, the miles, your total miles for your trip as a whole, estimated travel time, arrival day, so the day of the week, the arrival date, how many nights you're staying, when you're departing, a lot of information that I'm going to go ahead and pull out. Like I typically don't do the reservation numbers, so I would pull those out. Any comments, like one of them here, I have please text or call a certain number on arrival. There's the address, the website, the phone number, all of that good information. And then it also gives you tabs for or columns for your fuel costs, your camping costs, if you put in meals. So all of that is in there in a nice, easy format. So this is something that I could also send to Jeremy. Everything's there. He can just glance at it and easily see where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing, and what kind of resources that we're going to have in that location. So then you can also email yourself the itinerary, and it's going to go to the email address that you have on file. So I'll go ahead and click on that, email me my itinerary. An email has been sent. Go ahead and open up my email. Oop, there we go. Here it is, summer 2024. We've got 14 stops. We're going 1,482 miles, and estimated camping costs is about $1,500. So here's stop one. That's where we're going. Another nice feature is if it's highlighted in blue, meaning that it is a stop that's actually in RV Trip Wizard, you can click on them and it'll take you to the RV Trip Wizard site for that location. So this is Holland State Park. So I can just see at a glance. Here's the reviews, here's their phone number, here's all of that stuff. And finally, for those of you who like to have a print copy of your directions for whatever reason, whether you're old school, you just kind of like that paper map feel, or you're worried about cell reception, you can show your turn-by-turn directions. It'll actually give it to you so you can look at it on the screen, and then you can also get a printable copy, and it literally tells you, turn right onto Sagamore Parkway, go for 4.7 miles. Turn right onto So if you're one of those people who likes a paper copy for some reason, here you go. All right, so if you'd like to see how I used RV Trip Wizard to plan out our trip so that we were able to stay within about a $32 a night budget for pretty much most of the year. I think this trip we were averaging just right around 31. Our fall trip we're averaging about 32-ish, and I think winter we're looking at about $34 a night. So I'll go ahead and link that down in the description below. We'll also include a discount code for you. It's good for your first year off of RV Life Trip Wizard. It's 25% off, and you just need to go in and add it to your cart, and once you go to checkout, the 25% will be shown there on the payment screen. So we have had some issues with some of our fender screws coming loose on drive days. And so typically I have to, re-screw them, and it's kind of an every trip type thing. So we're finally getting around to caulking them, and hopefully this will keep them in place, and then I don't have to mess with this every time we pull in. So this one on the bottom is stripped out pretty badly, and it's not holding. So I don't think just a kind of a dab of caulk is gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and put a good size glob of caulking on there, and then we'll use a C-clamp or like a vice grip to hold it together, and we'll just have to remember to take that off tomorrow before we hit the road. All right, so hopefully that's gonna hold. Good, babe?
We'll see.
All right. All right, so we're not going to make you watch us do every single screw on all of the fenders. So we're going to go ahead and complete this job, and we will let you know whether or not this keeps those screws from backing out of the fenders.
All right, guys, I got to be honest here. I rather enjoy watching her get down on the ground and do some maintenance on the rig instead of me.
So I don't really mind doing maintenance and helping Jeremy. A lot of times I'll come out and I'll ask if he needs help. Sometimes I feel like I'm just in the way. So, like, can I be an extra set of hands? What do you want me to do? Sometimes he lets me help, and sometimes he's like, go away.
All right, today's another underway day. We're finishing up a 4-night stay here at Bliss Hill Farms in Georgia. Southern Georgia? Middle of Georgia?
West of Savannah.
West of Savannah, that's right. And we really didn't do a whole lot while we were here. We didn't even leave we didn't even leave the harvest host except once to go get groceries and liquor.
Yep, we just stayed relaxed, enjoyed the scenery, feeding the catfish.
So we always walk around this little pond here every day, once or twice, take Wicket with us. And when we get back around to the other side, there's that dock where you can feed the catfish. But yesterday, we were gonna skip that dock and skip feeding the catfish, but Wicket stopped right at the the little walkway over to the dock.
Yep, and he was like, nope, we're going.
And so the reason for that is because the catfish food that they leave out there it smells like dog food to me. And they're tasty little treats for him. So he likes to eat the catfish food. So we're going to see what happens if he stops. We're going to try and walk by it again. And we'll see if he stops to get some tasty little morsels.
Yep.
Wicket. Where are you going? You coming? You want to go feed the fish? Okay, let's go feed the fish. All right. See any fish food, buddy? Huh? Nope, There we go. We got some fish food. One last time, feeding the fish.